We are live on the YouTube on an extremely sad day.
Really
We lost,
shitty.
we lost Space Ace. I'm trying to get back on Zoom here. And I'm devastated, man. I am devastated. I have a lot to say, but I just want to welcome. We got Rick Ross here, man. Rick Ross was going to join us anyway tonight because we were going to talk about the 40th anniversary of death. But then this happened. And then I told Rick, look, can we reschedule that for 2 weeks? Because next week we're doing the plasmatics. Can we schedule? Yeah, it's cool with it. And I know Rick is a Kiss fan. And how do I know that? The very first, this is how I got turned. I mean, I love Death. I even saw the Leprosy tour. I knew of Rick, but how he became friendly was back in the day. Um, I would ask people to say Schmack and McGob on video, and I'd put it in front of the news. And Rick did it by playing a Kiss song. I forgot what Kiss song. It might have been Love Gun or something. He was playing a song, and I didn't know it was him. All you see is that. Then he comes down the camera, he goes, Schmack him on a gob. And I was like, that's fucking Rick Ross. It was it was shocking, but not as shocking as today. I'll get more into it, but let me open up by saying that there were so many rumors going on within a couple hours that in my mind it's like he's not dead. Stop with the rumors already. You know what I mean? But this whole world is full of people that wants to be the first. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
I want to be the first one to tell you he's dead. That's just human nature. I'm not putting down people like that because I'm like that too. I found out certain people died, and I would text my friend Ruben and, hey, so and so died. I want to be the first to let you know. We all do. And that's how this rumor thing was for like an hour. And I was like, this ain't true until they confirm it. I'm tired of this rumor. And then TMZ comes out and says he's on life support. Not dead, but on life support. Right there, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, he died,
All right. Yep.
Life support, you're Ace Frehley on life support. No, I'm sorry. He died. And what I understood is the family pulled the plug.
Hmm.
Um, and then they announced it. And man, I'm crushed. A lot, and I've seen this from a lot of Kiss fans because, as you know, my channel has a large Kiss following. I've seen many people say, like when Ozzy died, or when, I don't know, so many, John Sykes, all these people that died, and I do a news report, a tribute to them. There's always comments, almost always comments of people going, "Oh my God, this is so sad." But man, I'm going to be devastated. One of the original four Kiss members died. I know a lot of people now are fucking bugging out because we were all, you know, on, they're old, man. They're
Yeah.
old. And I really am fanatical about Kiss in the 70s. The other Kiss stuff, I love it. Some of it, some of
Some
it.
of it. Agreed.
But the 70s, man, that's when I discovered them. And I remember the first thing I bought was Double Platinum, but I don't know which album I got next, but I know the very first solo album I bought, the only solo album that matters. I bought this one. It's called The Best of the Solo Albums. It's the best of the solo albums. And yeah, I want to say, because of my friend David Rudad, I have several pictures of Ace Frehley autographed. I even blew up a picture of me and him and had him autographed that. I couldn't find it.
That's cool.
But David Rudat, this is a guy I met at the Peter Chris meet and greet thing. And he says, hey, I have an extra pass for Ace. You want to come with me for free to meet Ace? I already met him, but I was like, fuck yeah. And that time I took the solo album. Look how awesome that fucking autograph is.
No, that's freaking badass.
It's cool.
I mean, that is fucking beautiful.
It's great. He took the time to write. So many people just scribble when you get autographs. He took the time to do something nice.
And with a card.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the 70s Ace Frehley poster as a kid is hanging there. I had him sign that, to Ralph. It's like, to me, those are my prized possessions, And
That's cool.
he was nice. I mean, he was nice as he can be, because it's a thing where, you know, I don't think Ace liked doing meet and greets, to tell you the truth. And I got in free. I never paid to meet Ace, and then I did pay a lot of money for that stupid Gene Simmons vault crap, but Ace was there. That's what made me buy it. He was he was selling that vault thing. I'm telling you, 5-minute drive from my house. Like, I didn't pay that much. And then they said Ace Frehley's going to be there. Oh shit! So I threw down the money, and he was nice there too.
Did you get a picture with the both of them or no?
Yeah, well, separately.
Oh, cool. Well, at least you got a picture. Right on. That's cool.
Yeah, and I ever since I was a little kid, this was my guy. I got beat up for wearing an Ace Frehley shirt.
Really?
Back in the 70s, you go to a store called Zayre's and they had iron-ons.
I
And
remember Zary.
yeah, they had walls of what you can choose iron on. And I went there and I said, I want that Ace Frehley. It was a picture of Ace with a smoking guitar and a little tiny round picture of just Ace's face down here.
That's cool.
I remember those.
Yeah, and I got beat up by Led Zeppelin fans. And while I was getting beat up by Led Zeppelin fans, I was like, dude, I like Led Zeppelin more. Shut up, you Kiss anti-heterosexual. But yeah,
Right. And Ace was a fan of Led Zeppelin too. How ironic is that?
yeah. And it was it was Ace, man. Ace was my guy. Has
Agreed.
always been my guy. Sure, Tommy Thayer's a nice guy and all, but I couldn't support that crap, man. I couldn't support people, somebody imitate, and then singing shocked me. Come on, man. Well, let's get off the scab thing. I don't want to dwell too much on it. What's Tommy Thayer going to do now? Commit suicide to be more like Ace? I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But my point is, Ace, this hits me really hard, and in a way, it's kind of like, with the Ozzy thing. Yes, it was shocking and all, but this one's more of a, really, he's dead? No, Ace.
Really weird.
That's one of the 4 superheroes from the 70s.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because he's almost like Keith Richards in a way. Like Keith Richards keeps living and living and living, and you would just think Ace would be like kind of the same thing.
Exactly. When Keith Richards died, I think I'm going to have the same reaction.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Right.
Superheroes aren't supposed to die.
No, and think about it. Ace Frehley is a superhero, and it's documented in this movie called Kiss Meets the Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
You see that guy jump over fences. He
just flicks his thumb and they shoot off to go somewhere.
You know what the most impressive thing?
Comic books too.
The most impressive thing Ace does in Kiss Meets the Phantom is he turns himself black at one point. He's an actor.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that part.
I forgot he did he did the blackface.
No superheroes ever done that. They've never changed race into another race. But Ace, man, Ace, I love Ace. The star of the Tom Snyder interview, the greatest interview ever. Ever. And funny enough, I was on my TV like not even a week. Yeah, maybe it was a week ago. Just searching on YouTube for shit, and I found that, and I go, I haven't watched this in a while. And God,
I watch it quite often.
It is hysterical.
Love it.
It is like the funniest shit, the funniest interview ever, man. He was so on fire. He was hysterical. And the most important thing, the guy fucking wrote those solos, man. The first thing I did, and not when he died, when the rumors started, I put on Kiss Alive and Kiss Alive 2 from this box set. And then I just kept listening to Ace. And then when I found out he died, I listened to Origins. Now, the only reason I listen to my records, my record player's in the shop. So I can't play vinyl. I played Origins 1 and he signed that one for me too.
Nice.
This, I listened to not all of it. I did listen to Origins 2, which I like more than Origins 1. And then this is pretty cool. It's like a compilation. What's
Right on.
12 picks. It's got some live shit and unreleased songs as well as this one.
Was there literally 12 guitar picks on the cover of that record?
Yeah.
Okay.
It even came with a guitar pick.
Yeah, it had a pick with it. Yeah.
And
So
this
that's
is
13 picks.
this is a bootleg I owned from a guy on online sent me this.
That's cool.
And he sent me this about a week after I saw this same exact show.
Wow.
You know, and it's not a but I guess it's an audience, but man, it sounds really, really good. And I listened to this and it was awesome, man. I just cranked Ace. And you know, man, I love the Fractured Mirror sequels. You know,
Me too.
I love those sequels, all of them.
Yeah.
I heard the second one. I haven't heard anything else from them.
No, the third one's great. That's on Trouble Walking. And wasn't there a fourth one? I forgot what it was called. I think on Anomaly. Wasn't there a Fractured on that? I'm not sure.
Can't remember.
But
I remember those
I put on the
three.
original when I would listen to Ace.
Amazing piece of music, the original one. Yeah.
So yeah,
Just that whole solo record, man, is killer, and all the solos he did in the band.
Yeah, it was that was my gateway band. It was the song "I Want You" that got me into rock and metal. That song alone changed my fucking world. I wasn't even into music that much.
Right.
I was into movies. I would go to movies a lot. I was very fascinated with movies as a kid. But when I heard "I Want You," all this behind me happened. You know, it changed my world, and the amount of people this man has influenced. You know, Ace Frehley, God damn, man. And I
Ralph,
love.
I'm surprised you're not wearing the gauntlets.
Oh yeah, I have, man. I don't even know where they are. I have them in a box somewhere. I have the original Ace Frehley cups from Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
So you can put them on. You can make a space, Ralph.
Yeah.
You have those on your Kiss Wednesday introduction, don't you?
Yes, I do. That's right. I'm wearing them on that. Yeah. Damn, it's devastating to me. You know, this guy is so important. And it's, you know, it's the same feeling as Ozzy too, in a way, because you know, Ozzy devastated me, of course, but Ozzy was also there. You know, right after I got into Kiss, I discovered Black Sabbath. We sold our souls for rock and roll. So it was within the same year. Those two became my favorites, you know? And yes, in the 70s, Ozzy Osbourne was my favorite member of Black Sabbath, not only because, you know, I remember those infamous pictures in magazines where he's shaking his head and he's not even on stage. He's just out in public somewhere. And I was like, this guy's a lunatic, you know? And Ace was the same way, you know? And the sad thing is, and also you can kind of see, if you really think about it, saw it coming, Ace really died because he fell and he hit his head and it caused his brain to bleed. That's what they're saying now. But either way, Ace is notorious for falling.
Correct.
That guy fell all the time. He didn't have, and he would always say it in interviews. Yeah, I'm not used to the gravity of the planet Earth, you know?
Right.
From Jendel. He always fell. That whole thing with Black Diamond where they're playing over him, that was invented because he fell. So they ran over him, you know, to him, you know, making the crowd think it's part of the show.
Sure. Well, shit, Trouble Walking, he's named the record after himself pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he said, I have trouble walking. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I go back way back, but I'm not one of those people that got into Kiss during Kiss Alive. It wasn't until Rock and Roll Over. Really, double platinum was after Love Gun, wasn't it? It was. So you heard I Want You, and then double platinum. So yeah, Kiss was already out for. I mean, that Rock and Roll Over was already out for a year, and it's just that was my childhood. When 1980 came and the new wave of British heavy metal came and Unmasked came out, you can understand why most of us jumped ship. And really, after that, there's great stuff. Lick It Up. I love The Elder. Creature of the Night. Asylum, I love. But I don't love them nowhere near as much as that 70s shit, man. From fucking.
No, I saw the Creatures of the Night tour and the Lick It Up tour back to back, and I had no idea Ace wasn't in the band at first. So on the Creatures of the Night tour, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? But yeah, it was cool. I never got to see Ace live, though, but it was still cool to see those tours.
What kicked you off? What made you go? Or what made you a Kiss fan?
I think Dress to Kill was my first record. Then I got the first one, the very first album, which I still have all those. The only one I can't find is Kiss Alive 2. But I had the first record on red vinyl from back in the day, and I have them all. So up to The Elder. No, up to Lick It Up. And then I kind of lost them after that. And didn't, I mean, had MTV, you saw all the stuff, and I just didn't buy any more records.
Right. Yeah. How about you, Ralphus?
Oh man, when I was a little kid, kids in school were bringing them in at recess time, just bringing in their Kiss albums, and I'm talking like second grade. I remember hearing Kiss,
Wow.
but my first album I ever asked my mom for was Kiss Alive 2. It's the first album I ever asked for. I had a couple other things like the Monster Mash and stuff that my mom used to buy me, but that was the first time I can ever remember asking for an album. And I have this great picture here. This is a picture from 1978. I'm 8 years old at my birthday party, and I got a fistful of dollars. Well, it's $1,
Nice.
but with inflation, that $1 is worth like $10 or maybe more. But you could see the Kiss Ace Frehley 1978 album, solo
No,
album.
that rules.
Here's that same album today, autographed by Ace, and I got some
That's
pics
great.
in there. I got the 3D glasses from the Cycle Circus tour put in there, and I threw in an Ace ticket stub.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean that you can't. The importance of Kiss to people like of my age group. When I was a kid and I first seen the album covers, I thought they were like superheroes or monsters and stuff. And I was kind of drawn more to Gene Simmons because I was always like a monster kid, and I love monsters. But when they did those solo albums, that's when Ace like totally surpassed everybody else to me. Because I even to this day, like I can't tell you like more than like 2 songs from the other albums, but I know every song on the Ace solo album. And I luckily got to see Kiss when they reunited with Ace and Peter. I went 2 of the first 4 nights that they played the Garden. Then I seen them on New Year's Eve when they did Dick Clark's like New Year's Eve in New Jersey. And that was amazing. And then I seen them one more time on Cycle Circus tour. And as soon as they put other people in their makeup, that was it. I never went again to see them. I always like just boycotted it, just didn't care.
Right.
I got my old Ace Frehley the 70s Kiss doll. I gave him a guitar from like a later Kiss or Ace Frehley toy. And I got so much Kiss crap, but it's like I pulled out this little head knocker of Ace and
No, those are cool.
little like Ace Frehley Matchbox
Hot
like
Wheels,
car.
Matchbox. Hell yeah.
Little Johnny Lightning cars. Yeah, man.
I pulled
No,
this
that's
thing out
cool.
off the wall in the garage. This was pretty cool. I found this at a garage sale. I was driving by a house and I just seen this and I just spun back around and got it. And the woman selling it to me was telling me how her husband was so mad that she was putting it out at the garage sale. Like he probably had it from like 1979, but it's like a big
Right.
wooden like plaque kind of thing.
Oh,
So,
that's freaking killer.
but yeah, man, fucking Kiss, man. I just like Ralph said, where everything stems from Kiss. Like in my household, my mom's from Liverpool, so we had like Beatles 8 tracks and albums in the house. But Kiss was the first band that was like my band, and then it led to like by the time I got to like 12 years old and started buying albums, it all stemmed from my little tiny collection of Kiss albums, and then it grew from there. But super important.
Very cool.
Fucking band.
No, that ruled.
What a shame, man. They haven't been inducted in the Kennedy area.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that Ace and Peter would attend that. I mean, what it is what it is. But a lot of people talk shit about it. About the whole situation. But fuck them. It's not about them. It's about Kiss.
It's going to be bittersweet though to see them three there without Ace.
It's
going to
too bad it couldn't have happened right when they announced it. Too bad it wasn't like the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been like an Aussie thing. Ace could have gone out, like
When is that supposed to happen?
I don't know, but Ace, man, he was wacky at a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he'll be wacky there. I'm sure he would have made the other three, always look dull when Ace is on, So he probably.
I got. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just had one more thing that I forgot to mention. Now, I got this cool picture with Ace and my wife, and this was my second time meeting it. I met Ace twice. The first time I met him at a meet and greet, I had one of those fun savers at the time, and you don't know until you get home that the pictures came out like shit. They were all blurry and stuff. So and I got the album signed at that one, but then the second time I met him, I just paid for the picture with him because I was like, I had to get a good picture.
Right.
And I also seen Ace solo 4 times separately,
Nice.
But and 3 of the times they were awesome, but the very last time it was a little sloppy, and some of my friends were like complaining a little bit, but I didn't care. I get drunk. I'm 5 feet away from Ace Frehley playing a solo. I was like, who gives a fuck if it's a little sloppy and shit? It was still awesome, and he was still amazing. I'm glad I went, even if it was sloppy. But a lot of people complain about the last couple of years of his shows. But the first 3 times I seen him, I thought he was amazing. But other people complain about the later shows. But
I'll tell you, the best time I ever saw Ace Frehley, it was called the Just for Fun Tour. And I think it was like 91, 92?
91, I believe. Yeah. I saw that.
That was one of the greatest. Forget Ace Frehley, one of the greatest shows, period, I ever saw. It was a club show. But that's the night. He threw out Parasite. He threw out all these songs, Strange Ways, that he's never played before in his solo career. And haven't played a Kiss since, Kiss Alive. So, and the band was tight, and Ace was on that night. I mean, I never saw him play so well. And that's a concert memory I'll never forget. Definitely my top 10 greatest club shows ever was that.
Right on, cool.
And I saw Frehley's Comet, and that was great too. The first Frehley's Comet, I saw. He didn't come.
That was a really good band he had back then.
Yeah, man, fucking Anton Fig, John Regan, rest in peace. That guy.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, we lost John a couple years ago. Yeah.
You want to talk about a nice guy? That guy wished
he was a big part. He was a big part of that band, man, and he kind of got, in my opinion, a raw deal. But anyway, yeah.
John Regan wished everybody on Facebook a happy birthday. Right? You have him as a friend. If you have him when your birthday comes, you're gonna get, because John Regan, when he gets the birthday alert, he'll everybody that's on his list, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, And then I got to meet him after that. And
that's cool.
He couldn't have been nice. He was such a nice guy. And that's a shame.
I met him when he was out with Peter Frampton, and I asked him what was the craziest thing he's ever seen a Kiss fan do, for in front of Ace. And he goes, some guy brought a dog and asked Ace to autograph his dog. I said, did he? And he said, hell no, I'm not autographing a dog.
Oh man. So all right, how about you, Tony?
Well, I've told the story many times, and if it wasn't for this right here, this very 8-track tape here, I would not be sitting here with you gentlemen tonight. I mean, because it changed my world. I think I was 8 years old by the time I got it, and uh, so that would have been 77 because I think Love Gun was already out as well. But
Hey, hey,
yeah,
I
I
got it too. I got,
yeah, man,
but
it's
but
just
this,
Man, I
yeah,
didn't break out my 8 tracks. Damn it.
this
it's like I've told a story. It's kind of funny because I can remember it like it was yesterday. We come home and my mom comes and like, what did you get? And so I grew up listening to mostly country music and Elvis and stuff like that. That's what I was play on my 8-track player. So I put the Kiss tape in, and my mom's sitting there, and I Want You comes on with the soft music, and she's like, "Oh, okay, this isn't too bad." And then the power chord hits, and it's like the Twisted Sister video. Mom goes flying out the window. I mean, it was basically something like that. She just was shocked, and she didn't like it. And my dad said, "That's rock and roll," and he just walked out of the room. My dad was just cool like that. He's like, "Yes, that's rock and roll." He just walked out of the room like, "Whatever, let him have his stuff. Let
That's
him
good.
let him get into what he wants to get into." So yeah, and just was a massive Kiss fan after that. Just was always picking up stuff, always looking at stuff. Mom got on that whole kick with the Kiss is satanic and all that stuff, and so I couldn't have any posters on the wall or anything. So I would get pictures. My friends would give me pictures out of magazines. I'd have to hide them under the bed, and just you're a
Wow, like
little
a
kid,
Playboy. You kidding me?
exactly. And
Wow.
but I remember when Kiss Meets the Phantom came out, Mom wouldn't let me. She said, "You're not watching that. You're not watching it." And I just like, "Hey, Mom, going to Rich's house." And my friend Rich, he listened to his mom was cool. She bought him everything. So I go down to his house and watched it. My mom didn't even think anything else of it. So I got to, watch it there. And, I remember the comic books, I
That's
remember
classic.
that's the one I got first, the first one. I mean, the second one was the one I got first. But yeah, you
Are those
remember reading about
originals?
they
Those
had,
original copies?
yeah, these are originals.
Nice.
Remember it was supposed to have real Kiss blood in these books. So they used a lot of red, in it and stuff. But just the whole just it was just this whole thing about oh yeah, it's got Kiss blood in it.
No, they
It
were
just it
promo
made
kings for sure.
they were and of course the Kiss Meets the Phantom magazine,
That's fucking
official
great.
So
magazine.
you know what I heard? You know what I heard about the blood that they put into the ink? That it ended up going to Sports Illustrated. That-
That's funny.
I
But
heard.
they did the whole thing where in front of the press showing them
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
the
yeah.
blood
Yeah,
and then
there's video.
putting it into ink and all. I mean, I didn't see all that stuff when I was a kid, but I remember seeing it later on,
Sure.
because I mean, as I got into, I mean, I never really grew out of Kiss. It was always like I remember the Elder comes out and seeing them on solid gold. And I remember Hit Parader magazine I got was talking about Kiss's new album and their new look and all this. And by then I had started getting into new wave. I was into stuff like we've talked about Devo and stuff like that. And I thought, man, Kiss looks cool with these new costumes and stuff. So I was just like, really interested in hearing what it was going to sound like, the Elder and stuff. And I just kept following them. I mean, Creatures, and then when they took the makeup off, I mean, I was there watching it that night. Because we've lost Ace by then. He's already out of the band. But yeah, I never got to see him back in the day. I never saw him in the '70s. My first Kiss concert was Animalized tour, so that was January of '85. But I did see the reunion, and seeing that Kiss reunion with the original four was something I dreamed about, thought never going to see. And when they announced it, they were doing it, and I was like, I'm going as much as I can. I remember I went to 2 shows in a row. I went to Charlotte and Greensboro, like back to back. And then I went like a few days later to like Hampton, Virginia, and saw them again. And tickets back then weren't that expensive. Still, you could get
Right.
good seats, might have been 40-50 bucks
No,
tops.
no, actually, and here's the kicker. It was $40. Now back then,
That
40,
seemed like a lot.
but back then, $40, you pay $40, you get front row. You pay
Yeah,
$40, you get nosebleeds. all the seats were the
No,
same.
you pay $40 now. Oh, you mean they were all $40 to all the
Yeah,
seats?
they were all $40.
Yeah.
At 96 reunion.
I thought you were going to say $40 now. You get nothing. $40 now. You get parking lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, it's even more. They charge $50 at this parking lot that I go
Wow.
to.
But I did see Ace solo quite a few times. I saw the Frehley's Comet, original Frehley's Comet tour, and I saw the Trouble Walking tour, and he had Sandy Slavin from Riot on drums by then, and
Nice.
Richie Scarlett was back. Then I saw that Just for Fun tour that you were talking of, Ralph, and several other times, just different places, through the years. And I think the last time we saw him was about 2 years ago. He came and I went and saw him that night. And that one was he just was an off night. And I've seen him a few times where he's had off nights. And I mean, some were worse than others. The last time we saw him, I didn't think it was that bad. I remember my girlfriend, who had never seen Ace before and really is not that big of a fan. I remember her, she nudged me. She said, "Is he drunk?" And I was like, "That's just what you get. That's Ace, So, but yeah, I'm glad I got to see him many times, and I did meet him. When they used to do those Kiss conventions before they did the official Kiss conventions, they used to do those ones like Creatures of the South and all like that guy would do, and he'd do all down the East Coast from Florida to New York. And I think it was 1994. He had Ace Frehley was the major guest, and we went through and got to meet him, and it was free with your ticket purchase. There was no extra cost. Like, we paid $25 to get in, and you enjoyed everything at the convention that day. And I walked through and I bought a couple of 8x10s, which are hanging up here. I too tough to take down. I've got like 8x10 photos all up and down here autographed, but I got one of them Ace full color with the blue jacket on, from the non-makeup Ace. And I've got one of the Dynasty black and white 8x10. And I had him sign them, and his handler says, "Who do you want to make these out to?" I said, "Tell him to make them out to Dio." And Ace stopped writing and just looked at me and said, "You gonna give these to Ronnie James Dio?" And I was like, "No, that's my nickname, man." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so he signed them and he gave them to me, and he drew the card and stuff on them. It's great, man.
That was cool.
But I still,
he said that was cool.
yeah, I think it just took him by surprise. Like,
right.
I mean, like, Dio, what the hell's up with that, But yeah, he was real cool that day. And like I said, I remember one of the other shows I remember seeing was the Bad Boys tour. Remember, he did a tour with Peter Criss?
I saw it too.
Yeah, he kind of pissed me off that night. I brought my
history
book. I brought my history book that was autographed by Gene, Paul, Bruce, and Eric, because that's the way the first pressings were. And I was trying to get him to sign it, and he was looking right at me. I'm going, "Ace, come sign this book." And he's looking, like, he's sitting backstage. He's looking out. And it's a good little distance, but he's looking at me. He's just blew it off. I was like, "Man, come on, Could have came out and signed the book, but he's just not in a good mood, I guess. But
right.
And and you got to think too, man. They were doing little shitty clubs then too.
Where
I
saw that tour in a little shitty club.
But in honor of Ace, I'll say I'd like to toast all my fans in Holland.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to say you'll toast anything.
Toast anything.
That's what I love, that clip, man. Some of those Kiss clips are just hilarious, man.
Wayne.
Yes.
Wake up, Wayne.
I'm right here. I'm listening to everybody's story, and I'm reading the chat. There's so many freaking stories going on in the chat. I can't even keep up. But
I want to hear your story first.
My story. It's not really a big deal because I didn't get into Kiss until Revenge came out, so I missed the whole Ace Frehley thing. But luckily, I had my cousin who was a big Kiss fan, and he gave me a double platinum. So I got to hear that after Revenge, and I was blown away with all the songs. Everybody knew Rock and Roll All Night, so I already knew that song. But the other stuff I did not know about. And then later on, when they went to the MTV Unplugged show, and then Ace and Peter came out for that, then I really became more of a fan of Kiss and Ace Frehley, and going back to the older albums, the 70 albums and stuff like that. So, I didn't start with Ace, but that 70s period of Kiss is the best, hands down, Kiss ever. I love every era of Kiss, but nothing beats that 70s era. And as I wrote on my Facebook earlier tonight, it's most of that reason that the 70s Kiss stuff is the best is because of Ace.
Yep, you are correct. You know, I've always said it, and I'll say it again. I always said Paul Stanley wrote the best songs in the 70s. My favorite Kiss songs in the 70s, Paul Stanley either he wrote like Black Diamond or he sang.
Right.
But as killer as Paul Stanley is as a songwriter, listening to Kiss Alive today, I think Ace is even better at writing solos. I think the best part of these amazing Paul Stanley songs is Ace's solo. Because Ace's solo is like a song within a song. And I think it's even better than the song that surrounds it. That's amazing. That's what made Ace so unique. You know, a lot of people, oh, Bruce Kulick and Vinnie Vince and this. All right, that's cool. That's your deal. You're into technical shit. I'm into raw emotion, human feel. And that's what Ace Frehley did. He played these solos. Yep. That was unique. It wasn't like anybody else.
No, he has his own style, totally. I think one of my favorite Ace solos is the one he does with Paul on I Want You. Paul starts it out, and then Ace comes in with the second part. God, I just love that. So awesome.
You can tell instantly when Ace was gone, like the song quality went down a lot. So, that tells you a lot right there.
I'm not a fan of Firehouse. You know, the older I get, the more I dislike it. But I love that solo. That solo in Firehouse, best.
And that is total Ace Frehley. That whole I don't know what you consider that. Is the way he kind of picks on that. Is just he does that a lot, but it's his style, man, and you know it's him, and he influenced so many guitar players, man, that came after him.
That's why I can't say Firehouse is a shitty song, because Ace's solo makes up for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the song was there first, so I got to give credit to the whole team for those killer 70s tunes. Because if the song wasn't there, Ace wouldn't have the solo to do. So
exactly, but it just so happens, in my opinion.
No, it's totally cool. No, I love that stuff, man. It's killer.
He made songs better, better than the actual songs, I think. Listen to, that solo in Shock Me is another one that's just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. The little structure, the little changes, and it's just a mind-blowing. I listen to Kiss Alive 2 today. Damn, that shit smokes. And I prefer She, of course, Alive, but that Shock Me solo is awesome. It's awesome.
No, I agree.
It's really fucking awesome.
What about that solo in Rocket Ride, man? Good God.
That's another thing. Look, I'm a big fan of All American Man. I'm a big fan of Larger Than Life.
All of them.
Fucking Rocket Ride to me is my favorite of the studio album. That song rule. And I believe it was the only single, right?
I think you're right.
I think so, yeah.
I think you're correct.
Yeah, because I don't think Ace played. That's not Ace on All American Man. It's Bob Kulick and all that. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, and Larger Than Life, Bob Kulick as well.
No Peter Criss on those either.
Well, according to Gene, Peter is on it. So I don't know. I don't think it sounds like Peter Criss.
Not me neither.
Especially the ending of Larger Than Life. It sounds more Bonham-esque, than Peter. It's not his style, but according to Gene, he did write that. He did play on the song.
Right on.
And Peter came out. Peter's the first one to come out to give his condolences, and he said he was there till the end, so he kind of knew. He knew.
I was just reading Gene's and Paul's thing, and they wrote something together. It was kind of just thrown together. It wasn't anything really. I was kind of shocked. It wasn't as good as Peter's. Peter's, you could tell, is upset, but the other two just kind of just threw out, sorry about it and sorry for your family and all that crap. So kind of disappointing to not see something a little bit more from them,
They may have had something prepared for a while, because I'm sure they knew how bad, in the know about how bad things were.
And Yeah, that it was like 4 days ago. I got a message from somebody on Facebook telling me that Ace is in really bad shape and he may not make it. Of course, I read this and I thought, well, it's a rumor. I can't take that to heart,
Yeah.
Right.
heard anything else about it. So I didn't really listen to it. I was like, whatever, man, whatever. Until I hear news, it's no, I'm not a doomsday guy. Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. He's gonna die. It's gonna happen.
Right.
So if you come with me to that, I'm gonna be like, I'll wait till it happens.
Right.
But yeah, I heard somebody wrote me. It was like maybe 4 days ago about Ace is not gonna make it. He's doing really bad. But
I forgot too that I also did see the first farewell tour, and I saw them at Jones Beach. It's a theater on Long Island, famous theater, whatever. It's on the water. It's pretty cool. And I had seats all the way at the top, so the sound sucked. When you sit up all the way at the top there, especially at an outdoor theater, the sound just goes all over the place.
Yeah.
But it was cool to finally see the band and everything. But it just unfortunately, Ace was like one of you guys mentioned. I forgot who it was, but Ace just wasn't. He did not play. He didn't have a good night basically that night, and I was kind of a little disappointed with that. But seeing them anyway was still pretty cool. It's just sucked that it had to be that night that he just wasn't. Who just wasn't feeling the show.
Actually, it wasn't just that night. And farewell tour, it wasn't good down here either.
No.
I didn't go see any of that stuff. So the only time I saw Ace is when I was Ace with my tennis racket in my room playing Till I Kiss Alive, and I was in the band. So yeah, I've never seen Ace live ever. So like I said, I thought he was when I went to see Creatures in the Night tour, I thought he was in the freaking band. So
because he was at least in the video in the Island,
and he was on the cover of the record. Vinny was like under the radar. Then I'm like, who's this dude? Anyway, whatever.
Ralph, didn't you tell us that they said on the radio when you went to the Creatures tour that Ace had been in a car accident and he wasn't going to be at the shows?
Yeah, because I was under the impression Ace was playing it, and on the way there.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
On the way there, you got to remember, Ace is my favorite member. The radio said on the way there that he was involved in a car accident. He won't be playing tonight, and I was so pissed.
That's Hollywood, man. That's what that is. No disrespect, but that's Hollywood. Smoke and mirrors, man.
But I got to tell you, man.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I got to tell you, I walked out of that Creature show going, that Vinnie Vincent guy was fucking awesome.
That show was badass, dude. And Look It Up was good as well. They used the same stage, but it was killer.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Great shit. But still, And then finally I saw Ace in 87. And man, believe me, today years fly by like crazy.
Yeah.
But back then, 1981 to 1987, no Ace albums. Nothing. After Elder, it wasn't Frehley Tribute 87?
Yeah.
And man, I remember all those years going, what the fuck? Wanting to hear something from Ace.
He was living large, man.
But
he took a long break.
But I would read in magazine he's playing L'Amour's and all these plays. I'm like, well, where's the music,
Ralph, did you ever get the Frehley's Comet demos and stuff?
No, what is that? I never seen that.
It's the demo. It's the Frehley's Comet demos and stuff that came out before the first album. I think it says it's 85, I believe.
Wow, I never knew about that.
Yeah, I got it a few years ago. It's probably still available. It's just called Frehley's Comet. We Got Your Rock.
What's on it?
It's got Rock or Be Rocked. It's got Breakout, Audio Video, Give It to Me Anyway, Back in My Arms Again, Stranger in a Strange Land, Animal, Back on the Streets, the Vinnie Vincent song, Dolls, and We Got Your Rock.
I love Audio Video. That's a great catchy tune.
Yes, a lot of stuff's on YouTube, all of it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I have like the other side of the coin, which is a lot of the demos. I have a few demos from Ace because there are a lot of them out there. But yeah, but what a wait! And I'll never forget when I heard Rock Soldiers. It was on the Metal Shop, I remember too the week before, next week, premiering Ace Frehley's. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it.
Do
And
you guys remember the first ad that came out for Wash? I think it was
yeah,
Laney Amplify. It was Laney Amplification with Ace. It's the first picture of Ace without makeup that actually came out in a national publication. He was standing on the wall of Laney amps, and then the
He was
next one did the
leaning
Washburn.
against them. Yeah.
when
He's
I
wearing
saw
some space looking like coveralls, looking like red and black outfit.
when I
Yeah.
saw when I saw that picture, I was like, oh fuck, Ace Frehley's Asian.
Yeah, he did look. Yeah, he did. He looked Asian
Very
in it.
Asian in the picture, you know.
Yeah, you were mentioning how like there was that long wait, but how about the last decade? How productive Ace was. Like he was
Yeah.
just
Oh
like
wow.
pumping out albums. He
Yes.
was playing shows like crazy. He was just so productive in that time. Too bad he wasn't like that right after Kiss up until now. But I guess he was still dealing with a lot of substance abuse problems and stuff. But he was so productive in the last decade or so.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. I'm sure the peanut gallery is very sad.
Man,
Oh, yeah,
it's
everybody's
just
gonna say
it's
that.
running over, man. Everybody's talking and sending
And we
out
have-
tributes.
We have 460 people watching right now. I think it's the most we've had on a live show.
Oh, it's big
That's
news.
pretty cool.
Big news, man.
I saw a post earlier up here, Ralph, that said, I can't believe you're taking it so well, Ralph. And you know, hey, it's good to talk about it.
No,
You know,
I'm very bummed. I really am. I'm very
well,
sad.
but I mean, you know, as I'm saying, it does us all being fans. It does us
Yeah,
all well to talk about it.
but the thing is, when you're talking with your friends, 4 or 5 friends about it, you get a different mindset. If I was alone and listening to Ace,
Yeah.
very depressed. Nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody
It's like
talks.
therapy. It's like therapy, like we did with Ozzy. When Ozzy died, I don't know, something that it was different. I don't know if it's because of the rumors all day or what, but with Ozzy, I remember trying to get ready for us to do Almost Human, and I was like welling up, and it just was different. Like it was hitting me right away with
Yeah.
Ozzy for some
Ozzy
reason.
it was very sudden. That's why this one we kind
Yeah,
of got built up.
today
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a weird build up to it, and it still hasn't really sunk into me. And then right before we're going on, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and it's just Ace, 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 and then all of a sudden I start to feel it. It was like then it was time to do this, but it's like just looking at all the love and all the posts, it's all of a sudden it's like, yeah, wow, this really fucking just happened. But it still hasn't fully sunk in, and it will as you listen to the albums and you know, just it's so sad, but it hasn't sunk in yet.
You know what I'm gonna crank after this. I haven't heard in a while. Another amazing Ace Frehley solo is on Bump and Grind on the Wendy O. Williams album.
Mm.
I got
I
that.
heard
I got that on compact disc though.
Yeah, we're going to talk about plasmatics next week.
Next week we will talk about the plasmatic.
They
But-
opened for I saw them open for Kiss on the Creatures tour.
Yeah, so did I. That's how I got turned on to the plasmatics. Actually, was that show? I knew of them, but when I saw them live, it was mind blowing. But yeah, next week we'll talk about the plasmatics. And yeah, man, everybody out there, look, I just want to say I know a lot. There's a lot of viewers on my channel that are hurting now, and I understand, man. I'm with you. You know, you may take it harder than me,
Very cool.
but Ace is my guy. He's always been my guy. You know, and you know this by watching my channel. I always praise Ace as my favorite in the band. But it wasn't until I listened to Kiss Alive today that I figured, wait, man, these songs are so amazing, and Ace does something in it that's even better than the song. That I realized today after he passed. I was like, God damn, man, it was pretty hard to do, you know? It's pretty hard to outshine Paul Stanley in one of his amazing.
No, he just helped Paul shine better, man.
No, and also Dr.
There was the team thing, but not to cut you off, but like that one Kiss thing you did that they took down off of YouTube, that was fucking unbelievable the way you put it together. Then when you got to Ace and you're like, and then the boss walks in or whatever that one liner you had.
Oh
it was
yeah,
Ace
no, I remember it's a little clip from Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, where Paul, I'm about to go into the Ace Frehley album, and I play the clip of Paul and Phantom of the Park saying, "Ahoy, here comes," what was it? "Ahoy, here comes the Superior," or something like that. He
It
said,
was a total. It was fucking great. Whatever you said there. No, that was really. It sucks they took that down because that was really well done, man.
it's all up on this website called BitChute. All my Kiss reviews are there. Just
That's
look Almost Human on BitChute. All my old school reviews, because all of them were taken down. All of them. And
yeah. And now there's all new ones up.
yeah,
Wow,
now-
because the
And yours- and
music
yours still
was it
smoked
due to
Yeah.
copyright?
yeah, it was
Music
because
copyright.
it was because of copyright. I used the music. But yeah, those were up for like, I don't know, 6-7 years before they were taken out. Maybe even longer. Man, today I noticed my 2000 man video on this channel is the highest viewed video. It's over 1 million something. And yeah, they didn't take that down. You know? It's weird how that's still up.
It's because it wasn't the whole band, I guess. Maybe. I
You
don't
know,
know.
Well,
on
it's a Rolling Stones cover, so maybe they don't care.
There you- That's
hey,
a good point.
probably. You know, Ace posted it on his Twitter. I mean, Ace Frehley's Twitter. He posted the 2000 man video, and I met him really soon after that. And I asked, I go, "Ace, do you run your Twitter?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "Oh, because they posted a video I made, on your Twitter." And the guy, John Astronomy, whatever his name is, his manager, he was standing there and goes, "Hey, it was me that posted your video." I was like, "Oh, cool." And then he goes, "Ace, I showed you the video." He goes, "What video is that? 2000 man." He's like, "Oh yeah, you did that? That was really cool." And I was like, "Awesome, man."
No, that's way cool.
Yeah, that was like the only conversation I had with Ace, nothing else. But
Mad Dog's in the chat from the mentors. He says, "Thanks for doing the show." He's very devastated. Can't believe it.
who?
The Mad Dog from the mentors.
Oh yeah, he's a huge Kiss fan. He loves Kiss.
Hey Rick, show us that Ace Frehley Les Paul you got. When did you get that?
Oh, I don't remember. It's been a while, but it's nothing fancy, man. It's cool.
Still, it's a cool little.
Yeah.
Thing.
Beautiful.
Awesome, man. Yes, gorgeous. Did you take it one of the pickups out and make it so it smokes?
No, man, I'm not that cool. I'm not that good of a guitar player to make a guitar smoke.
I got some pickups. This guy that owns everything Casablanca now, he gave me Ace Frehley pickups that were burned.
That's fucking cool.
A friend of mine has a roll of the decals, some of the decals that they look like humbucker pickups, but they were the decals that went over the hole
Yeah,
that
that's when
they
you
use
pop
for
it
the
in. Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fucking cool.
because
Dude,
he got them from Ace's cousin. Ace's cousin
dude,
lives.
that's some
I'm in
knowledge and
North
shit right
Carolina.
there.
He Ace's cousin lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and like sold a bunch of Ace stuff like years ago, like some Marshalls and stuff like that Ace owned once, and he got those decals from Ace's cousin.
That's
Pretty
cool. No, way cool.
Yeah, man. I am really depressed. This is really a hard one for me. But man, so is Ozzy. This year sucks.
I mean,
Yeah,
Dio
it's
was
fucking
hard.
year.
Ozzy, yeah, it's just it's been a bad year. Yeah.
Been a horrible year, but this is to be expected. They're all coming.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Man,
hate
everybody's
to
getting
say
younger.
that we're at that age, they say,
Well,
but
you guys are, and I'm still far behind. So,
well,
good luck.
It's just all our heroes, all our rock heroes are all like probably 20 years older than we are, because
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones that were doing it when we were little kids, But
And
it's
also,
crazy.
You got to remember too, Ace hit it hard. He was,
Yeah.
That's a
him
good
and
thing.
Pete-
That's a
him
good
and
thing to bring
Peter,
up.
man.
You know what? Ace had a good time.
Yeah.
There you go.
He had a good time.
And it also, it's like Lemmy, and Ozzy. These people partied their fucking brains out.
Yeah.
They made it kind of, like the life expectancy of somebody like that usually falls 10 years, 20 years shorter than, because Ace was about to be the 80.
75.
He was 75, but yeah,
He
74.
was 74, I think, going on 75, I believe.
There you go. I mean, yeah. I mean, not saying it's still kind of like for normal.
I think it's time's up, time's up. You know what I mean? It's look at Keith Richards; he's still kicking. You know what I mean? I think he partied pretty hard, and
when you read all four of their books, when you read all four of their books, you expected Ace to go first. I mean, Peter ended up having like the breast cancer thing, and he partied hard too. Peter, but Peter seemed to clean up his act maybe a little bit longer than Ace. But when you read those four books, like Ace's book was just the best because, well, Peter's was really good too because the more fucked up they were, the crazier stories they have in the book. Gene and Paul's book were kind of boring. It's like Gene was just always chasing, the tail, and Paul's book was kind of boring, but Ace's book was fucking great.
Ace said he wanted to go back and write.
Sure that Paul and Gene's book were more like Smoke and Mirrors Hollywood, and Ace and Peter were just like raw bones. Hey, this is what we did, and we had a fucking blast.
Yeah, this is what we survived. We survived this. They're proud to document it.
I mean, when you I read that. Star, come on, really?
It seems like I read that Ace said he wanted to go and he wanted to write another book because there was a lot of stuff in that during the 80s that he didn't remember that had come back to him and stuff like that, or people had told, or maybe people had told him stories like, oh, okay,
Oh, he ran into some old friends and said, hey, you should do it. No, and I think I remember him bringing that up about another book, but yeah.
I was thinking about when Ralph was saying about how he almost got he got beat up by like Led Zeppelin fans. I didn't almost get beat up, but I remember arguing with older kids on my bus that Ace Frehley was 10 times a better guitar player than Jimi Hendrix. And they were just like, you don't know what the fuck is. And I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm like, their guitars don't smoke. He could fucking, he's a superhero. He could fucking destroy all them guitar players, like to me, there was no comparison, but I just remember being like ready to argue and fight any of them, if I had to.
Yeah.
It was unique.
There was more new wave in my high school, but I'd carry my guitar around and skip class, smoke cigarettes, but yeah, it was a lot of Kiss talk, and a lot of my friends were into Kiss, but there was never any fights or anything like that, so I kind of got along with everybody, fortunately, in the high school I went to.
Not on my school, man. My school, we got picked on. I knew a couple other Kiss fans. We all got picked on, all of us. The thing is that I went to an elementary school, and there was a field, and on the other side of the field was the junior high school. So when they'd get out of school, they'd come and just kick our ass, even if we weren't Kiss fans. But since I wore a Kiss shirt, it was even more. They did beat. They gave me a red belly. That just sucked. But
that's not really getting your ass beat. But red bellies are red bellies.
Yeah. Oh, it hurt. It hurt. It hurt for a few days. It got all red. My belly got red.
Wow.
All because of an Ace Frehley. But that's there was a million Kiss iron-ons I could have got. The 4 album cover. This I was like, I want that Ace Frehley one. And I have a picture somewhere. When I went to the youth fair, there was some guy painting people as Kiss members. And I don't know how much it charged. I went, hey, paint me like Ace Frehley. And I got a picture of me as Ace Frehley at the fair.
That's freaking cool.
That's the member I wanted. I mean, I've always been the Ace guy. Ace has always been my favorite. When I saw this shirt, I had to buy it. Oh, no, I think it was my girlfriend, maybe. Online, you get a picture. You can send it to somebody and they can put it on a shirt. Yeah, I believe the girlfriend got
I don't know who made this. I saw a guy wearing one at an Ace show, and I said, "That's killer, man. I'd love to have one." He goes, "Give me your address," and he mailed me one. So that was pretty cool. Rule. Yeah, you're talking about the face painting. I remember. You remember on the reunion tour, they had face painting. They had the stencils, and they were painting people's faces at each show. Kids, were getting their faces painted. And my friend had I think his nephew was with him. He brought his nephew, and I think he may have been like 7 or 8 years old. First concert he's going to is Kiss, and he wanted to go get his face painted. And he's like, I want to be Ace Frehley. And I'm like, we got to go to the bar first. But yeah, and I remember my friend telling he got his face painted. I think it was like he had to go to, like, I think it was Easter that weekend. He had to go to a family dinner or something the next day, and the kid refused to wash the paint off his face. He wore it to the family dinner, and it was all smeared where he slept that night. That's pretty cool.
That's great, though.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
I am bummed, man. What a sad.
I got a great Kiss concert story that brightened up my mood thinking about Kiss. But so I went to, like Tony said, man, when Kiss and I announced that they were getting back together and doing the makeup and everything, it was just like, I just never thought it was going to happen. A lot of time had gone on, decade, it's like, just didn't think it was ever going to happen. And so I get tickets for one show at the Garden, like the second night, and we had like, I forget, it was kind of like middle of seats, it was like you had, like Ralph was saying, like back then, $40 got you front row, and it also got you the nosebleeds. But that was the great thing. It was like, it wasn't just who had the most money. It's like if you slept out overnight, you got the tickets and stuff, and that was a way better deal. Once it became like they Ticketmaster fucking price gouged everything, it sucked. But so we get tickets, and then I thought it was like sold out all four shows, and they kind of were, but like you can get, back then you could still even get, like, not StubHub or what, but you could get tickets somehow. But we loved the show so much that night that we're like, oh, we got to try to get tickets for like the fourth night at the Garden. And somehow we got them. And we had a friend that was going down who had NBC box seats. And he was going by himself. So he was like, oh, we'll take you down. I'll take you down there if you guys can get tickets. So me and my wife get tickets. And we had literally the very last row of the upper levels. But we didn't care. We just wanted to be in the building because it was fucking so, like, electric. So we get these seats, and I remember we sit down and we get our beer, and I'm one of those guys, like, I get two beers and sit down, so that way I don't have to get up and get another beer. I'll sit there with my two beers. And back then it was like $10 beers, which was a lot, but not like today. They would be $25 beers or whatever at the Garden. But so I sit down, and my friend, he knew what seats we had because we were like laughing about it on the way down. So he goes to his NBC box seats and stuff, and I sit down with my beers. My wife's got her beers, and right before the show's about to start, my friend finds our seats and comes over. He's like, dude, he's like, you got to come down to the box seats. He's like, there's only like two people in there, and they gave me their passes, and they said that they didn't care if you guys came down to the seats. We're like, what? So we start getting up, and we've got our beers, and we're walking slow, and the show's about to start, and he grabs my beer and he throws it in the garbage. I was like, dude, I just fucking paid like $10 for that. He's like, don't fucking worry. He goes, there's a fridge in there. It's packed with beer for free. I was like, what? So now we're running. I throw the other beer down. We're fucking running to get to the seats. We get in this room, and it's like we're like NBC would like be doing like a hockey game or whatever. So it had like this kind of like glass thing in front of us. So it kind of muted the sound a little bit. But there was like a room with maybe like 10 seats in there, and it was like four people with us in there. And so we sit down, and we're like, wow, there's a fridge, and it's fucking like 5 different kinds of beer in there, ice cold. We're fucking drinking. Like, wow, this is amazing. We had our own separate bathroom in the room, so the announcers could piss or whatever. So we have our own bathroom. We're not going to miss anything. And we're catching the show. And all of a sudden the door knocks, and I'm like, this was too good to be true. Someone's going to fucking come in and see that we're not supposed to be in there. We open the door, and this fucking lady comes in with this big tray thing. And it's got like these giant shrimp on there. There was pizza. And it was just like, holy shit, but I was like tripping. So I didn't want no food or anything, and I just was like so bugged out that there was all this free stuff, for nothing. And then at the end of the night, the other people leave the room, and we're getting ready to leave. And there's this big beer fridge filled with beer. So no one threw anything out in the garbage can. So I just took the garbage bag out and I started filling up the garbage bag with beer. So I walked out of Madison Square Garden with a bag like Santa Claus, walking out of the garden with this big bag full of beers. And I was handing them out to people. We were hanging outside, fucking just handing them out like it's Christmas time, fucking
Santa
giving beers.
Claus, yeah, rules.
But it was just one of my favorite like concerts of all time.
That's a good story, man.
That's awesome.
You're talking about Madison Square Garden reunion?
Yeah, so I went the second night and I went the fourth night.
But check it out here. This is a big coincidence, Rob. I was there.
I know you were there. I remember you've talked about it
That's
before.
fucking great.
In the box set. I had box seats.
Oh shit.
The thing is, my friend Eve, who's still my friend, her boss owned box seats, and we could have went all 4 nights, but her birthday was on Saturday, and she wanted to a birthday party at her favorite bar. So we went Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. We just missed the Saturday show. And,
So you guys were in the same box?
no,
Okay.
It's weird though. Like, you're talking about you had the box seats. I was like, well, in our case, it's just like you described it. Bunch of beer in the fridge. And I remember shrimp. I ate that. And then somebody would come and get us and put us in our seats. We didn't see the show from up there. And our seats were not super close, but not super far. It was side seats, about maybe 25 rows back. It was still great seats. But yeah, I saw 3 of the 4 shows at Madison Square Garden. And all 3 nights I was in the box. We'd get there after the first night, we got there super early so we can get drunk and eat a lot. And
I never had seats like that again. I've never had like box seats. I never came close to that. But I do have another kind of story. Is like, so when we go to, we have tickets for the Meadowlands to see him on New Year's Eve. And my same friend who got us down for that show, we had a lot of friends going down to this show. It was New Year's Eve, Kiss, and we were all psyched. And we went to our friend's house in New Jersey beforehand. We're partying like crazy. So we get to the show, and we didn't have great seats for that one either. But a bunch of us were sitting together. And my friend who got us the box seats, he asked the guy that was like the gate guy for his section. And he was like the first level, but all the way to the side of the stage, but like really far down, like only like 10 rows back. And it was real close to the stage. So he just actually, he seen people coming in and going, and he said there was open seats, and he's like, yo, if I give you like $50, can a couple of my friends come down there? And so he bribed the guy, and the guy said, okay. So again, this guy comes and finds us, and all of a sudden now like 6 of us go down, and we're like right on the side of the stage. And a funny thing was, like, my wife and this other girl that was with us were like kind of like dancing and stuff. And while like Ace was doing a solo, you could see Gene and Paul on the side behind the amps, like spooging up their hair or whatever, And they're like got like little flashlights, and they're like pointing them at my wife and my other friend's wife. And all of a sudden, some guy like a roadie comes up, and he offers to give them passes to go backstage. And I was kind of like, oh, go get some autographs and stuff. But then it was like, well, what are we going to do? We're going to just like stand around outside waiting for them to try to meet. And I was like, yeah, there'll be like a million girls back there. You don't have to do nothing, just like get some autographs. But they just ignored it. But it was kind of funny how like they offered them to go backstage,
Wow. That's wild. That was, and also that Madison Square Garden, that shit was magic. There was a type of energy in the air, because I saw it at Miami Arena. I saw it when it came to Miami Arena. It wasn't the same. It was a good show, but there wasn't that magic. I remember walking out all 3 nights of Madison Square Garden, walking out where the crowd walking out with us are all cheering. With what how they continue to cheer on the way out. I never seen that at a show. Definitely one of the greatest experiences I ever had at a show.
Yeah, that's awesome you were there.
Was the reunion in Madison Square Garden.
Yep, the hometown, the whole.
And
they definitely went all out for it.
And it was a buzz, because I stayed in New York for like a week, and everywhere was Kiss crazy. You'd go
Yeah.
Was that the first four shows of that reunion tour that they started Madison Square
I
Garden?
think the first one was in Detroit. If I'm
Tiger
correct.
Stadium.
I think
Yeah, Tiger Stadium was well, technically the first show. They played before that at I think it was called the
Barbecue. It was the K Rock barbecue out. I think it was in California.
Yeah, they played, but
K Rock.
it wasn't a full show, but yeah,
What was the thing? What was the thing under the Brooklyn Bridge? What was that show?
that was just for MTV. MTV
Okay,
Farm.
and the same thing with the Dick Clark on the aircraft carrier.
no, that was Conan O'Brien.
Oh,
That
Conan,
was
no,
when
my
they
bad.
that's when they
My bad,
announced
Conan.
everything. That was like the first time them coming out with makeup or that
I got
and the
Conan
MTV thing
O'Brien,
with
you're right.
Tupac. They had that
But they
thing with
did, yeah,
Tupac.
they did the award show when they came out with Tupac. But
Right.
yeah, then they
and
did
then
the
they
official,
announced
the press
announced the tour.
release. Yeah, the press
know-
conference.
No, it was Dick Clark that first put him on TV. And they weren't big yet. This was even before Hotter Than Hell. They put them out when the first Kiss album was new, and that's
Yeah.
Well,
In concert.
when I seen him on New Year's Eve, it was still a Dick Clark's New Year's Eve. So right as it's getting down to like 2 minutes to midnight, Dick Clark came up on the screen, and I guess if you were watching at home, you were going to watch Kiss perform right at midnight on the Dick Clark show, and it was like they were talking about something about how like the first time they were ever on was Dick Clark. They were, reminiscing though, but it was
I
cool
remember that.
it was during the show. Yeah.
I watched today the performance of Black Diamond on the Midnight Special. Holy fuck, man!
Amazing.
You want to talk about? I mean, Peter Criss in that clip. Holy fuck! They were just on fire. All four of them was a machine. I mean, that to me, man, is peak Kiss. Was the greatest up to Alive. After that, it was great and all. I love it all too. But I'm just saying, something about that fire, they had on those first three albums and Kiss Alive. I don't think it's ever been matched by them ever since,
So you saw the Dress to Kill box set that's coming out here in a few weeks.
I haven't really looked into it much. What is it? Is it an actual box set?
Yes, it is. It's like about 4 different records, I think, with a bunch of demos, and they've got of course it's got a live
2
show.
live shows.
I thought there was going to be I heard there was going to be a live box set coming out too. It's going to be all the shows that made up Alive, but
that's what I heard too. I heard Eddie Kramer was even working on it, so that may still come out.
Yeah,
I'm under a rock. You guys got all these stories. I got nothing other than just being a kid. Playing my tennis racket. I got nothing. Well, that's really cool stuff.
The Beatles on Ed Sullivan's show is always considered like this groundbreaking moment. Ozzy, everybody wanted to be a rock star. For our generation, I think it was the Paul Lynde Halloween special. Like every kid that'd seen that was like wanted to be in a band after that, or
I've heard a lot of people say that.
That's like the equivalent for our
I missed that totally. Yeah, that was before I discovered them.
I missed it too. And I'm older than Tony. I didn't see that when I was a kid. I saw it later. And I'm sorry. Eric Singer is way better at air pianoing than Peter does. Yeah, look at Peter on Paul Lynde. And then look at Eric. Eric has perfected that air piano.
Well, that's the 70s and now, so I'm sure nobody's going, oh, he's not really playing.
Yeah.
So.
No. Back then, we thought that was, I'm sure everybody thought Peter played the piano, But, yeah, so it's a very extremely sad day. I heard I heard a couple things days ago, but my brain is like, even now, I kind of like don't believe it. But I felt
and not to be rude on this whole situation, I was like, man, is this like a publicity stunt?
Yeah, right.
And then I heard the Jane thing, and I'm like, okay. And then I was like, whoa. I really thought it was like, okay, he's canceling shows. He fell down at home in his studio, and maybe ticket sales I was way off base. So, yeah.
Somebody in our chat group somebody in our chat group had written something like, once I seen that Gene put up a thing saying all the Ace merchandise just doubled in price, that's when he realized it was real, that it really happened. It's a fucked up joke, but kind of funny.
Well, Ace did sold his paint, man. He sold his face, and so did Peter.
Oh yeah,
okay.
that reminds me of this like toy saying the Spaceman. I forgot to show this one before, but yeah, it says the Spaceman. That way they can always make money on his likeness, even though it says like the Love Gun era. But the cool thing about this toy is they had like they had like 2 different series of different outfits and stuff, and it's just like $20 a piece. But I bought one. I bought the one Ace Frehley toy. I didn't buy any of the other guys.
Well, I just got a text from a friend. He sent me a link from a Google story about Ace's passing, and they put a picture of Tommy Thayer up instead.
Didn't they really?
Bound to happen.
It's bound to happen.
I got this. I showed it before we went on the air.
Wow.
It's a bust. An Ace
That's killer.
Bust. I got
the Gene Simmons one of that, but I don't got the Ace one. I did get the Gene one.
Yeah.
His face is like one big boob. Gene's.
All up here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7 Ace Frehley picture discs on my wall. And I had him sign the picture disc of the first album like I did this one. So I have that.
That rules.
Yeah, dude, everything Ace, man. I own the whole discography. Not a fan of a couple of those albums, but I bought them anyway to support Ace. He's always been very special to me. I've always kept up. I've always supported him. All throughout his solo career, I would go to all the shows and I buy everything brand new when it first came out. And
no, that's very cool.
Yeah,
definitely an Ace fan, but definitely a Kiss fan as well. So
I'm a huge Ace fan. Huge of his guitar playing. It's like unbelievable. I'm very, very.
Rick was Ace one of the guys that made you want to pick up guitar? Was he one of probably your top influence, or?
Right after Steve Miller, because that's the first record I ever heard as a kid in '77 when I was 10. My dad brought home Steve Miller's Fly Like an Eagle that a buddy of his, Bernie, that he worked with, he goes, "Hey, my buddy Bernie brought this home and he wants you to listen." So they bought me a turntable. And, Steve Miller, it wasn't like Kiss at all. But, Fly Like an Eagle and all that. But then somehow I got Dressed to Kill before, because it was 77, because I think Love Gun was just coming out. So anyways, yeah. But Ace was definitely like 1 and 2, because it was Pat Travers, Steve Miller, and then Ace came in, and then Kiss became my favorite band because they had really, really good songs. So yeah, and my whole room was plastered with freaking Kiss posters. There was no paint. It was all Kiss posters, 1 4 and a 4 poster, and that old school Farrah Fawcett poster behind my door. And my mom was like, they were talking about the Knights in Satan Service and Kings in Satan Service. And what totally got my mom's mind off of that, I thank Gene Simmons' solo record for putting When You Wish Upon a Star on there. And I was like, okay, Mom, why would they do this? And she's like, oh, that's Kiss. I'm like, yeah, that's the guy that kind of looks like a demon with his tongue sticking out. And she's like, was never brought up again, dude. So God bless my parents, and God bless Kiss and Ace Frehley. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Well said. And that goes for everybody in the peanut gallery. I guess everybody's just moaning in there, right?
Yeah, everybody's just broken up and everybody's sad about it,
I'm not moaning, I mean mourning.
Mourning.
He has a difference.
I'm gonna rock Ace's freaking solo record when we get off this thing. The whole thing, dude. This freaking thing rules.
I love every song on that freaking album.
There's not a bad song on that record.
I remember
back here.
Believe me, I mean, New York Groove. That was,
dude. I watched the thing about that today. Not to cut you off. A thing I had never seen about that on the original band that did it, and it was harmonica, and how Ace didn't want to do it, and it was really, really cool. But yeah, that's a huge tune, and was perfect for him being from the Bronx and in the New York thing. And somebody made sense to him, and he's like, okay. And guess what? That's his biggest tune. And a lot of bands and a lot of artists became really popular and had big tunes off of other people's music.
Yeah.
But everybody thought it was Ace's tune. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
It was a huge, huge song when I was a little kid. I
But
remember,
every tune on there kicks ass, dude. All of them.
oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even one of my favorites now, but I still love it like crazy. And it as a little kid, it hooked me in. It hooked me in. It
Totally.
had, a little groove thing, kind of disco-ish a little bit. And I just
No,
love
it was
Ace,
well put together, man. It was well put together.
Ace's voice is so smooth and cool on that song. And here I am in the big city. I love that
No,
shit.
it was perfect. I mean, destroys all the other records. My second favorite is Stanley's. That'll never change. But I'm kind of like this, Peter Chris. I tried. I know you put that before. But I listened to Gene's. I'm like, wow, that's pretty. There's some cool stuff on Gene. Peter Chris, it was totally different world, but that's his thing. But I was always a rock and roll guy, and it wasn't a rock and roll record. So we're not talking about everybody else in the band, but that whole band, those four main dudes made that band. And if it was anybody else, it would have been shit. So
And
Yep.
that's
Point.
The chemistry is everything.
that's a
70s, yeah, that whole early era of those four original dudes going through all that shit themselves, no matter who was lazy and who did all the work and who wanted to
Yeah.
sing and who was doing this. It did well, you stuck with it. Obviously, it was cool, right? How many years did you guys do that shit? You had 3 failed records that were fucking great. And then you put out a little bit of a bootleg live record that smacked everybody around like a bitch. And you blew up like freaking, and it created your careers for after what you struggled to do. And that's all I got.
Well said.
God bless Ace Frehley and Kiss.
there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, the only reason Kiss is popular because of the imagery and
Yep.
the explosion on stage. It's all
The
smoke.
gimmick. Yeah, the
Yeah,
gimmick.
it's all a gimmick." And I'm like, really? I want Use a gimmick. Black Diamond's a gimmick.
You
The,
couldn't see the gimmick on the live one, could you?
yeah, exactly,
You were
exactly.
hearing music. When
You
you went to
can't.
the show, you're like, holy fuck, on
You
top
can't.
of
Yeah.
the cool shit
Yeah.
they were doing.
Well,
I've never seen that. And I'm getting chill bumps. It's a disappointment that I didn't get to see that. But when people say that gimmick shit, okay, well, really? Come
Yeah,
on.
no.
Yeah, if it's a gimmick, why are we still listening to the song 50 years
Exactly.
later?
Look,
The gimmick is long worn off, but we're still
Totally.
loving the songs and the albums.
100%.
I'll give you an example. I don't think there's a worse band ever than Slipknot, right? But I'm not going to say they're
I couldn't even
popular.
name a song, but
I'm not saying they're popular because of their gimmick, because they wear masks and stuff. I'm saying they're popular because that's today's generation, or maybe last generation's
they were
music.
listening to the lyrics and they related to that insanity or whatever they were
Exactly.
talking. Period.
I may not like it. I may despise it, but
Correct.
I understand how people would like it. I do understand that. And I'm not saying, oh, it's popular because they wear masks and stuff. That's why. No, it's popular because it resonated with that generation.
Millions,
Like,
millions
just
of
like,
people.
just like Kiss resonated with us. It was impossible
Correct.
escape Kiss at 13 years old in 1978.
Yeah, the gimmick might get you noticed, but you have to have songs or else it's nothing. The gimmick will last
No,
5 minutes and then it'll be over. But if you don't have
100%.
if you have the songs, then
I
that's it.
didn't know what they looked like when I heard "I Want You" and "Blown Away." I was like, "Oh my
Nope.
God, I need to get this." I didn't know they wore makeup. I had no
Mhm.
idea. The young kid, but the song grabbed me. I didn't hear pyro in that song. I didn't
Nope.
hear I didn't see makeup in that song. It was the music. You may not get it. You may hate it. I understand. I feel the same way about Slipknot. But you're wrong that they only made it on a gimmick. You're wrong. It may have attracted people to it, but the people had to like the music. Everybody that loves Kiss loves them because really the music. They love all the
Correct.
frosting. They love the frosting and stuff, but Kiss fans love the fucking music.
If the music would have sucked, that show would have meant shit.
Yep.
And
I
and
think.
also we can talk about this because it's been 50 years already. It's timeless. That 70s shit is timeless. It still sounds
Totally.
awesome today. It hasn't aged bad. It hasn't aged like milk. It's fucking awesome. And Kiss rules. And a big, I mean, I'm telling you, all four are equal members. I give you 25% of each. But that
That's
20,
how it should be in a band.
but the only difference is the 25% that was Ace Frehley was truly an original. More original
Agreed.
than the other three. He had a certain thing that the other three didn't have, but he was still 25% of the awesomeness.
They all sang songs like the Beatles. They all sang great songs, no matter who wrote what. And they all had all had their own persona. Now the makeup made them their own little thing, and the show was great. And they wrote great songs, man. And they put really good stuff together, no matter who was writing them.
And
You know
Ace,
what I mean? So,
Ace wrote some motherfucker.
oh, come on, of course.
Parasite, Strange Ways,
He
Ghetto.
just didn't want to sing. He didn't want to be a singer.
Old Gin.
Totally.
Cold Gin. You know, when I was a little
Yeah.
kid,
Strange Ways.
Totally. What a
When
great
I-
solo on that tune.
when I was a little kid, I had Cold Gin. It was the worst thing I ever tasted in my life. I had it because of that song. I was like, I want some Cold Gin. And it was like, this shit sucks.
You can put that in
Yeah.
your car.
Freaking pine needles.
It's horrible. Gin is terrible. But anyway, but yeah, everything that Ace touched in the 70s was gold. I can't think of one song that Ace was involved with in the 70s that I didn't love.
Now I know you don't like Unmasked. I like some of his songs
But
on
Unmasked,
And
Unmasked,
he wrote the most songs on that Kiss record.
Unmasked
Yeah.
is Ace, though.
I have that in my collection, but it's whatever.
I like those songs. I like the
No,
AOR
dude, I
type
respect
stuff.
your
It's a good
opinion.
I
album.
didn't like it. I didn't like the Ace songs on Unmasked, but I'm talking 70s. All 70s Ace, absolutely.
Oh, that's right. Unmasked is not in the 70s. My mistake.
Yeah.
It's
It's
80.
1980. But I mean, Hard Times from Dynasty. Fucking
Oh,
great
dude,
song.
that whole I love Dynasty and I love the Elder, man. There's some Elder stuff that's like, but I can listen to that whole record and
I friggin'
Dark Light.
love
Yeah.
that solo in Dark Light.
come on.
How,
You know,
how about the demo? Don't Run.
yeah.
I haven't heard that.
You know what I was saying before?
It's Dark Light, but it's called Don't Run instead.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
it's probably
I
on
didn't know
YouTube.
that.
What I was
I'm
saying,
sure I'll check it out.
what I was saying before about how Ace would put a part in a song and make the song even better. He did it to even one of his songs, man. To me, in my opinion, Dark Light is a whatever song. But that middle section with the solo and the congos.
Oh, dude, that's priceless. I'm like congas and a badass solo. Come on.
And the ripping he does. I'll never
dude, all those songs on there are great. It's good stuff, man. Save Your Love? Are you kidding me? Is it Save Your Love on Dynasty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's another great Ace tune. So anyway, good stuff. And Hard Times. Come on.
I'll never forget.
Oh, we were talking about the Elder. I'm sorry, I'm buzzed. Whoops.
I saw this. I remember when I was a little kid, I saw a hit parader had like or maybe it was Circus, had like a listener's mail. They'd mail in something, they'd publish it. And there was one guy's like, all these people talking about Eddie Van Halen because this is 81. No, everybody needs to wake up and listen to Dark Light, and you'll see he's better than Eddie. You know what I mean? And at that time, I never heard the song Dark Light. I was like, oh, now I'm interested to hear it. But there was no YouTube back then, so I didn't hear that song for years later.
Right. Two different styles, but two great guitar players. I think Angus Young is a great guitar player.
Oh, I love Angus Young.
You know what I mean? I think Malcolm Young's a great guitar player, and he's never played a solo in his life. Not to get off the Ace thing, but there's so many great guitar players. You know what I mean? So that make the band that they're in. Sorry.
Yep.
Now, you know, Rick, there is footage of AC/DC playing like a high school gym in the really early days. It's even black and white. Malcolm's doing guitar solos. And he's pretty good.
Dude, he wrote all those songs, man.
Oh, yeah, he was the heart of AC/DC.
It's used to say that he was the best guitar player in the band.
My favorite guitar player ever, rhythm guitar player. unbelievable.
Oh yeah, hands down, my favorite rhythm guitar player is definitely Malcolm Young.
100.
Yeah.
God bless Ace Frehley and Kiss.
Yeah, man. So that's about it, everybody. I'm very depressed and sad, and I'm sure, we'll be talking about this for a while now, especially on this channel. And I
I
want to
apologize for getting off the subject, but I appreciate you guys having me in.
I want to thank
Man,
you.
great having you, man.
Yeah,
I want
anytime.
to thank you because Rick was scheduled to do this show tonight, but we were going to talk about, his time in the band Death and Massacre and, celebrate the 40th anniversary of Death. And then this happened today, and I hit Rick up saying, "Hey, can we reschedule it for 2 weeks from now because Ace died?" And it's like, and then I go, "You want to join us?" Because I knew because of that intro video he did for me, he was a Kiss fan. So, and I was, "Yeah, you want to join us?" And I thank you for joining us. It was great, and yeah, same thing goes for Mr. Wayne. Wayne, how you feeling, man?
My leg is killing me. I can't wait till we get off of here.
All
I
right, yeah,
can't
no,
sit still.
Oh man, sciatica's kicking in. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wayne has a new aggressive band coming out called Sciatica. So
That is a good idea. I should do that one.
you should do that.
I knew
man.
that was a
Yeah.
joke. That was
Yeah.
really good.
So everybody,
Sorry, Wayne. I know.
Everybody-
I'm sure that sucks right now. You're like, oh, fuck, I want to stand up.
Well, as
month
Ace
now.
said, rock soldiers come and rock soldiers go. But
Yeah.
you know,
everybody,
Rest in
wish-
peace, Ace Frehley.
everybody,
rest in
wish-
peace, Ace.
Yes, sir. Sleep well,
Everybody-
Mr. Frehley.
everybody wish Wayne a full recovery and positive vibes.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Hey,
I
and back at you, Ralph. You went through some stuff yourself.
That's
I'm
right.
happy you're doing good, man. We talked the other night on the phone, and I'm happy you're doing a lot better. That's some serious shit you were going through, brother.
Yeah, abscess is it's not nothing funny. It's a dangerous thing,
No.
but
Yeah, man. Count Ralphus. Hope you're doing well, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
that too, yeah.
Count Ralphus as
all,
well.
all us old fuckers, we're all
We're all
fucking
we're all
hanging in this-
terrible.
hanging by a thread.
Old people and ailments.
I had a foot of my intestines ripped out of me this year. I mean, we're all freaking falling apart.
Yeah.
So
For real?
Man, that'd make a good song. That'd make a good song for sciatica, man. Ripped out intestines.
yeah. Yeah, I
Man,
had
he's
to,
on a roll like
well,
butter tonight.
yeah. Yeah, I had a colorectal surgery back in March.
Ooh, that's a great title for a song, man.
Colorectal surgery.
That's the album title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right,
fun.
guys. Again, thanks, Rick. We're gonna see you, Rick, in 2 weeks. Okay.
No, man, it's totally cool. Hit me up, and it's an honor and a pleasure to even hang out. So, and I appreciate all you guys and
Great to
let me
have you,
hang out
man.
with you. It's
Yeah.
totally
Right
cool.
on.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Yeah, it's fun, Rick.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. It's good stuff.
Right on.
Fucking
man.
Massacre Store. You kidding me?
Um,
Sorry, I didn't write down everybody's
I got the
name, so
I got the
I'll-
Mantis demo. I had the Mantis demo out ready to go still too.
That's fucking classic.
Look
right
at-
there.
Look at that young
Bam!
guy on the end there.
Holy shit! Look at that
Young Rick
waistline.
there.
That shit going, huh? Anyway, yeah, that's good stuff. That was late 83 right there, 84.
Yeah, man.
No, man, that's way cool. Thanks for the shout outs of some old bum. Thank you.
Well,
and again,
we'll see you in a couple weeks.
positive vibes for Ralphus Wayne, and also positive vibes for Tony, Rick, and myself that we remain healthy.
Yes, please.
And
Positive vibes to
Little high
Ace
blood
Frehley's
pressure,
fan.
but I'm good
to
so
Ace
far.
Frehley's
So good,
family.
so what?
big
Yes.
sim-
Positive.
big-
Amen.
Sending out positive vibe for Ace Frehley's family for
My
sure.
deepest condolences to Jeanette, his daughter, who's on my Facebook, his daughter. And
Oh, that's right. He does have a child. Damn it.
Yeah.
My condolences.
Blessings.
And also my deepest condolences to a lot of you watching now, because I know a lot of you are really, really hurt by this, that view my channel. Major Kiss fans here. As you can see, look at all the people
Look, the views that are watching it. Yep. Got the 470. So
I want to say, I know what you're going through. It really does hurt. It hurts me a lot. But I am going to sign out now. I'm going to listen to that Wendy O song, Bum and Grind, and then I'm going to play Kiss Alive again. Oh,
I'm
hell.
going with this tonight. Thank you guys very much for having me. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. God
all,
bless and be well.
all hail original Kiss and rest in peace, Space Ace, Smack 'em a gob.
Good night.